Breaking news: across continents and oceans, the global power map is being redrawn before our eyes. As new alliances take shape, we are witnessing the birth of a truly multipolar world, where influence is shared and negotiated, not dictated. The era when a handful of superpowers called all the shots is fading fast, giving way to a more complex and dynamic global landscape. Today, capitals in Africa and Southeast Asia are stepping into the spotlight, emerging as new centers of influence and innovation. These regions are no longer passive players. They're actively shaping their own destinies, choosing partners, setting terms, and asserting their priorities on the world stage. This remarkable shift is fueled by a powerful drive for development, security, and true independence. Nations are investing in their people, their infrastructure, and their futures. Countries are seeking flexible partnerships that adapt to their needs, rather than rigid alliances that limit their choices. They want collaboration, not control. The result? A vibrant, unpredictable marketplace of ideas, investments, and alliances, where innovation and ambition drive progress. High-level deals are being struck in cities across Africa and Southeast Asia, building roads, power grids, and digital networks that connect millions and unlock new opportunities. These partnerships are reshaping not just trade and security, but the very flow of global influence, creating new pathways for prosperity and cooperation. The world is watching closely, wondering what this new order will mean for peace, stability, and the promise of shared prosperity. This transformation is about more than politics or economics. It's about billions of people striving for a better future, for themselves and for generations to come. As old certainties crumble and the familiar world order shifts, new opportunities arise for those who are ready to adapt, innovate, and lead. The rise of new partnerships, built on mutual respect and shared ambition, is the defining story of our time, shaping the world we will all inherit. Africa is at the heart of this transformation, standing at a crossroads where history and ambition meet. Across the continent, a new era is unfolding, one defined by innovation, partnership, and a bold reimagining of Africa's role in the world. Today, middle powers like Turkey, the UAE, and Indonesia are investing in Africa with fresh energy and a sense of purpose. Their presence is felt in boardrooms, construction sites, and bustling city streets. They see opportunity, not just challenges. For them, Africa's a land of potential, where new markets, resources, and partnerships can flourish. Turkish companies are building industrial parks in Ethiopia, creating jobs and transferring skills to local workers. The UAE is funding ports in Nigeria, modernizing trade routes and boosting regional commerce. Indonesian firms are partnering in mining and agriculture, bringing technology and expertise to help unlock Africa's vast natural wealth. These aren't just business deals. They signal long-term commitment to Africa's growth, with investments that aim to uplift communities and foster sustainable development. What sets these middle powers apart? They build relationships based on shared experience, not colonial history. Their approach is rooted in mutual respect and understanding. They connect with African leaders as equals, having faced similar development challenges themselves. This shared journey creates a sense of solidarity and trust. This approach gives African nations more choices and leverage, allowing them to shape deals that truly benefit their people. No longer limited to old partners, African governments can now negotiate better terms for investment and aid, ensuring that their interests come first. The competition is fierce, and Africa is empowered to drive its own progress, setting new standards for growth and cooperation. The continent is no longer a passive player. It's setting the agenda, leading conversations on trade, technology, and development. This new dynamic is reshaping Africa's future, opening doors to prosperity, and redefining what's possible for generations to come. Middle powers are rising, stepping onto the global stage with increasing confidence and ambition. Their influence is growing, and they are no longer content to simply watch from the sidelines. Still, the US and China continue to dominate Africa when it comes to trade, investment, and large-scale infrastructure projects. Their economic footprints are visible everywhere, shaping the continent's development in profound ways. Yet the landscape is no longer a simple rivalry between two superpowers. The dynamics are shifting, and the old binary competition is giving way to a far more intricate web of relationships. Countries like Turkey, the UAE, and India are stepping in, adding new layers of complexity and opportunity. Their investments, cultural ties, and diplomatic efforts are reshaping the balance of power. African nations are skillfully balancing these relationships, leveraging their position to avoid overdependence on any single power. They are becoming adept at playing a strategic game, maximizing their own interests. The future belongs to those who can build smart, complementary alliances, partnerships that combine resources, expertise, and vision for mutual benefit. Imagine a global power funding a major project, while a middle power provides technical expertise or local knowledge. This collaborative approach is quickly becoming the new model for development and progress. Russia and India, for example, play dual roles, sometimes acting as global powers with broad ambitions, and other times as niche partners offering specialized skills or technology. This creates a bustling hub of diplomatic and economic activity, where deals are struck, partnerships are forged, and new opportunities constantly emerge. African nations now have unprecedented agency. They are able to play partners off each other, negotiate better terms, and secure outcomes that truly serve their people's interests. Alliances are increasingly fluid and pragmatic, shifting as circumstances change. But for these partnerships to last, they must be built on a foundation of trust, transparency, and mutual respect. Ultimately, the true measure of success is whether the benefits reach ordinary people, not just the elites. Only then will these new alliances fulfill their promise and drive real, inclusive progress across Africa. In Southeast Asia, strategic realignment is driven by both development and security. US-China competition is forcing countries to rethink defense partnerships. The solution? Diversify security ties and build up their own capabilities. The US was once the region's main security guarantor, but now countries are seeking broader options. Middle powers like Australia, Japan, India, and South Korea are stepping up, offering training and technology. This strategy maintains strategic autonomy, accessing support without overcommitting. Overlapping security ties create a resilient regional architecture. Maritime security is a major focus, especially with tensions in the South China Sea. Countries like Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia are leading efforts to secure their waters. This push is vital for regional stability and global trade. Security cooperation in Southeast Asia takes many forms, from treaties to joint exercises. The US and allies focus on high-end training, building real skills and readiness. China also seeks defense ties, but its efforts are met with caution due to territorial disputes. Southeast Asian nations want economic engagement with China, but rely on US security support. The result is a careful balancing act, engaging with all, committing to none. Diversifying partners is essential to avoid dependence on any single power. By working with the US, China, Japan, India, Australia, and Europe, these countries maintain independence. This strategy is their insurance policy against being forced to choose sides. It allows them to make decisions based on national interests, not external pressure. The diplomatic dance is complex, but it's key to regional stability. Navigating this landscape requires constant flexibility and foresight. Middle powers are increasingly attractive partners in Southeast Asia. Countries like Australia, Japan, and South Korea offer practical support without heavy political strings. They help nations build strength and resilience, empowering them to manage their own security. This isn't about picking sides, it's about standing on their own. Middle powers provide targeted real-world assistance patrol boats, radar systems, disaster relief training, and cybersecurity. Their support is tangible, earning trust and respect. They champion international law and a rules-based order. By partnering with them, Southeast Asian nations reinforce stability and peaceful dispute resolution. Middle powers are not just convenient, they're essential allies for regional peace. Their approach is shaping a more stable and predictable environment. New defense partnerships aren't spread evenly across Southeast Asia. Maritime nations like the Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, and Vietnam get most of the attention from Western partners. Their strategic locations and involvement in South China Sea disputes make them top priorities. Mainland countries, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, receive less support and may turn to China or Russia. This risks creating geopolitical blocs and a divided region. ASEAN's unity could be undermined, weakening its central role in diplomacy. A fractured Southeast Asia would be less stable and more vulnerable to great power rivalry. Decades of regional cooperation could be undone. To avoid this, partners must engage the region as a whole, not just favorites. Supporting ASEAN unity is essential for long-term stability. The global stage is being reshaped by the rise of middle powers in Africa and Southeast Asia. These nations are forging their own paths, building networks, and creating a truly multipolar world. Success now depends on collaboration. No country can tackle global challenges alone. The most effective strategies combine the strengths of diverse partners. At the core is a universal desire for autonomy and resilience. Developing countries avoid overdependence by engaging a wide range of partners. This balanced approach is the new playbook for diplomacy. It lets nations advance their own goals while navigating great power competition. The quest for autonomy is fundamentally reshaping the global order. In a crowded web of global partnerships, trust is the most valuable currency. Transparency isn't optional, it's essential for strong alliances. All partners, from superpowers to middle powers, must be open about their goals. Hidden agendas breed suspicion and instability. Access to clear information is often blocked, making it hard to evaluate alliances. Without transparency, speculation and mistrust take root. This undermines cooperation and can lead to dangerous miscalculations. The path forward is clarity, open agreements, accessible information, and accountability. In a multipolar world, trust is the foundation of stability. Only with transparency can new partnerships truly serve global peace and prosperity.